I'm the only white face in this area. You don't belong here. Stop, I'll shoot you in the back.
Yo, what's up? Mike from Coppville here to talk about Tasty Gains creatine gummies. I would never push a product I don't use. I didn't take creatine until I ran into Tasty Gains and started taking these gummies because they're simple. No powder, no mixing, just pop a gummy in, 1 gram of creatine per gummy. What are the benefits of creatine? Increase water to the muscles to get that sick pump in the gym. Better recovery, more power during your workout, and studies are now showing it's helping with the brain, which I need all the help I can get. So go to tastygains.com, use code COPVILLEOG for 20% off. This is the real deal, simple, easy, and we'll get that pump going so you look good for the ladies or men. What's going on, guys? Mike here from Coppville with another episode of Locked Up with Coppville. Today I'm going to tackle a tough one, a controversial one. Is there a double standard when it comes to the media and blacks, whites, minorities? Obviously, everything hot in the media right now is the Ukrainian girl stabbed in the neck in Raleigh, North Carolina by a black male that was seated behind her on a public transit. How did we get here? Well, I think where we start is Trayvon Martin. That was like the catalyst that kicked off the media covering deaths and minorities and whites a certain way. We can go all the way back to Rodney King, all that stuff, obviously before social media, but as the boom of social media and the media and being able to shove it down our throats even worse than just being on the news was Trayvon Martin. Immediately, you had the president of the United States come out and say this kid could have been he could have been his son. And George Zimmerman, just a dude in a subdivision. We have no idea what happened. 2 people. We have one story. The media jumps all over this. This kid ends up on all over magazines, in the news. They tried to make Zimmerman a cop, kinda, not really, security guard. But that was where we saw the narrative begin to get pushed that leads to the anti-police, black versus white, whatever this creation is in the media in order to create divide or make more out of something. This is where it started. I guess the next big one was Eric Garner, resisting arrest, chokehold, LVNR, 15 seconds, which, I mean, you can't kill somebody in 15 seconds. I believe the choke was contributed to part of his death. He's a fat, overweight, selling cigarettes, breaking the law. Trayvon Martin, we don't know what was really happening. Was he cutting through? Was he committing crimes? Was he committing burglaries? Of course, the pictures we see are all the prom pictures and football pictures. Here's a guy who's clearly resisting arrest. Does he deserve to die for selling cigarettes? No, he does not. But this continues the push of police are bad, white police are bad, all police are bad. And if you're black and you have some type of situation that you are running to the police, this started that, like, you're some protected class now where you can do more than everybody else. You can get away with saying things. You can cause more of a scene because now the police are going to be less inclined to want to interact or deal with it. That's a problem. And I think that's one of the biggest problems is a entire political party, the Democrats and the left, pushed this narrative now that police had to pull back reins where agencies are now over tracking contacts with minorities. They have to fill out cards if they come in contact with a minority. Guys that work the hood, strictly black neighborhoods, are getting in trouble because their statistics show that they stop primarily minorities. That is statistically impossible not to stop more minorities. And now guys are getting in trouble. Now this narrative continues with, white cops are bad. Any contact with, blacks, you see it on the cameras, on the cell phones. And as the cell phone era has progressed and Instagram has progressed, which is, I look at Instagram as like your quick news, you scroll, you're getting all the feeds. You cannot deny that when you scroll Instagram, we frequently see bad interactions with the police, from both white and black, but primarily what seems like Zuckerberg and everybody shoves down your throat is the bad interactions with blacks and police. Millions of contacts. Everybody's in contact with the police right now. As we're speaking, there's people being stopped all over the United States. There's going to be good ones. There's going to be bad ones. In the world of the camera and the spotlight that are on police, it is ridiculous to think that there are cops out there still, one or two, maybe bad racist cops, but there are cops collectively going out to harass or beat up or kill minorities. It's ridiculous. There are neighborhoods in every city, you can go right down the blue map, where it's primarily black and police have to patrol the black neighborhood. They have to go enforce the law in the black neighborhood. They're only going to stop black people. They're only going to come in contact with black people. That's the nature of demographics. Can't shake or beat that. That's how it is. But not being able to do your job or hesitating or worrying because what the media has told everybody, and what will instantly be a problem for you is if you have to use force, if you have to shoot somebody. I don't care what you say, cancel me. If we go shoot a white guy in a white neighborhood, it ain't going nowhere near the news. It might make the local news. If a black male gets shot by a police officer under any circumstances, good, bad, or indifferent, it is going to be immediately a national news story. And that's not fair. That's not the way we're supposed to live as society. Are there bad cops? Absolutely. Are there bad people? Absolutely. Are there bad white people? Yup. Are there bad black people? Yup. There are bad people. Police people. Some people are white, some people are black, some are Hispanic. It is what it is. The fact that we can't just openly say that and say, don't fucking break the law. I don't care what color you are. Don't break the law. Don't resist arrest. Don't act like a fucking moron. You can't say that to certain people, and it's ridiculous. And it's time to stop this narrative of it's 2025. You can pick up your phone and watch the reels. You can see all the chaos where 50, 60 black kids go into a 7-Eleven and destroy the place in the Target. You can see it in San Francisco and LA, going into stores, high-end stores where they have to have everything locked up. I'm not racist. I'm just saying, based on what I see, the videos I see and the material I see, whoever's controlling that algorithm, so be it, liberal Mark Zuckerberg, that's what we see. We see constant videos of that type of behavior. Then we go to, as time progresses, we go to the George Floyd. George Floyd was a terrible human being. Does George Floyd deserve to die? Absolutely not. Does anybody deserve to die unjustly? Absolutely not. I don't care what color you are. You do not deserve to die just to die. I have my opinion on this, and it differs from most cops. I think Derek Chauvin is a moron. I think Derek Chauvin assisted in the death of George Floyd. Do I think he killed him? No. Do I think he did a lot of things wrong? Yes. Was he trained to do this technique? Sure, he was trained to do it. Any human being who gets on top of another human being for over 8-9 minutes and doesn't check the welfare of them and they're dying is a moron. Did Derek Chauvin murder George Floyd because he is black? Absolutely not. This is downtown Minneapolis. This is black neighborhood. This is what's going to happen. He's going to contact more black people than white people. This was a call for service. You can dig into it all you want about, oh, it's just $20, it's a counterfeit. This is what a guy gets paid to do. He gets paid to enforce the law. So on this day, he draws the George Floyd card. I think they handled it wrong. I think that they had him almost in the vehicle. They should have put him in the vehicle, and things might have gone different for all of them had they have got him into the car. Now I'm gonna go to another one. This one got real big news, and recently, Mr. Hankinson there on the right was sentenced to 4 years in jail. This is Arteria Woods. I'm sorry. This is Breonna Taylor. I get it mixed up. Arteria Woods is here in Vero. Breonna Taylor. There's the picture. She gets killed. Unfortunate. If you look at the facts of this case, she's involved in criminal enterprise. She is renting cars. There's dead bodies found in her cars. She's dating drug dealers. The drug dealer she's dating is selling drugs from the house. All the bullshit about no knock and this and that, all been debunked. Sergeant Mattingly was the first one, and he gets shot. People were shot. Police were shot from inside this residence. Unfortunately, the police shot back into this residence, and Breonna Taylor was killed. Tragic. She doesn't deserve to die. The guy on the right returned fire because his teammates were getting shot. He didn't hit anybody. He didn't hit a soul. Never a bullet that left his gun never touched anybody. He was tried and convicted of civil rights violations against Breonna Taylor and her neighbor, found not guilty of the neighbor, but found guilty this year of civil rights violations against a dead human being. Couldn't even prove she was alive. So if she's dead, unfortunately, at that point, she has no civil rights. 4 years, I believe he got in federal prison for discharging his gun in the direction of gunfire while his team was being actively shot. You don't know about him. You don't hear his name. His name's not on a football jersey or back of a helmet. Her name is. Her name's on sneakers and all that other stuff, but because she died. And is it tragic? It's absolutely tragic. Did she deserve to die? Absolutely not. Did the police just decide to go to her house and kill her? Absolutely not. She was involved in criminal activity. And when you're involved in criminal activity, that's what's going to happen. I mean, it's not a black thing. It's not a white thing. It's not any of those things. It is just, unfortunately, what happened. We had Ferguson, Michael Brown and Ferguson, hands up, this is the picture. I don't know him. I didn't do the research. I know he's in the hood. He's doing, there's a call, there's a robbery or a theft or whatever's going on. It's not a cop walking into a neighborhood going, I'm going to kill a black guy. It's a call for service where a crime is being committed. Now, that's a separate issue. Use of force, how much force is used. How do we get to, the use of force continuum, the old scale, the new scale, whatever it is. That's a judgment based on the situation that has already, that is happening. But the call for service is not, hey, there's a black guy over there, let's go harass him or let's go point our gun at him. It's a call for service where something's happening. Police were called, and then the situation develops. It's not a black thing. It's not a white thing. It's a call for service thing. It's a black neighborhood. They're going to contact more black people. Like, it's a reoccurring theme amongst all these issues. Are there racists? I believe yes. There are racist people in America. Absolutely. There's discrimination in America. Absolutely. Is it what the media is trying to tell you it is? Absolutely not. I'm going to tell you a quick story. I always use the casino because I love it as a gauge for there's no such thing as racism or discrimination, because everybody at that table, black, white, yellow, green, purple, they all get along under one common goal: beat the dealer. I was gambling this past week down in Hard Rock, and I'm sitting with there's an old lady next to me, old white lady. We'll break it down because it's everything in America is race. There's an old white lady sitting next to me, like 80 years old, Kathy from Key Largo. Husband passed away. We know all that because we're gambling together. We become friends. This black kid walks up, James, ends up being, he's an amazing dude. Walks up next to me. He's got his Yankees hat on. He's got a pair of sunglasses and prescription. And he walks up, doesn't know who I am. Never met him in my life. Man, I just hit $1,500 to hand pay on this slot machine. I'm like, oh, my dog, man. Like, we're immediately like, he won money. I'm happy for him. I will say, right away, they went after his glasses. Hard Rock is crazy. Oh, are your glasses prescription? He's wearing some fancy, like, little dark glasses. And he's like, yeah. He says, he asked me because I'm black. And it's like, no, you have glasses on. There's a policy that you can't wear glasses. Inevitably, James sits down, and like two little kids on the school playground, we're instantly friends. We're now buddies. We're playing 3-card poker. He's like, let's go hit blackjack. Hit blackjack. We're doing shots. We're great. At some point, he says, has no idea what I do, who I am, what I did for a living. James says, "Man, I wish I get some blow or some fucking weed around here." And I just laughed. I didn't say anything. About 10 minutes went by. He goes, "Hey, dog, you don't want to get none? You don't get?" I'm like, "Nah, man, I'm good." We're playing. Three Hollywood police officers walk by. He's like, "Man, look at these fucking crackers, man. Fucking blah blah blah." He walks by. So we keep doing shots. We're playing. We're gambling. About an hour goes by. I said, "Hey, man, I got to tell you something, dude." He says, "What, man? What's up?" I said, "I'm a retired cop." And he looks at me. He says, "You what?" I said, "I'm a retired cop." I said, "I don't give a fuck what you do, what you snort, what you smoke." I said, "I'm just so you know." He said, "Man, dog, you all right?" And I said, "Yeah, man. Like we're here gambling, we're whatever." But my point of that story is I don't know his background. I didn't judge him based on his skin color. He didn't judge me based on my skin color. We had a common ground of gambling. We had a great time. And at some point, I told him I was a cop. And why I say that is when he saw the cops go by, he had an immediate reaction. Fuck them cops. Blah, blah. I told him I was a cop. Didn't matter. We ended up getting each other's phone number. He left. I left. I ended up texting him the next day when I hit a jackpot. So my point to that is if the racism would have been when James walked up, we would all got up and left. If we wouldn't want to sit at the table with James, or vice versa. You know, if I'm sitting there and you know, all of a sudden a group of black kids come, but they don't want to sit with me. That stuff doesn't happen in those environments. That stuff happens outside the environments where more of what you're told to believe and what you are conditioned to believe affects your decisions and affects your mind. When you're in there and you're in there to have a good time and you're not worried about the outside world, that doesn't exist and that's my version of the way I explain that racism is very, very small because there will be tatted up white dudes that come sit next to me and I'm like, man, look at this fucking guy. Like I'm probably more worried about him than a guy like James walks up. Like it just doesn't exist. It's based on your gut feeling about videos you've seen on the internet. And then if you're smart, you watch the videos and you go, hey, I can see the pattern here of what's happening. Or if you listen to the media is going to tell you what to think based on what's happening. And they're going to omit facts. They're going to omit parts of the story to get you to watch and get you to feel a certain way. And then there's always a reason behind that. And that's a whole nother conspiracy. Hollywood's controlled by a certain group of people. Social media is controlled by a certain group of people. They're conditioning you to see and hear what they want you to see and hear, and then use that for elections, money, capitalism. That's a whole nother area, in my opinion, that is part of my conspiracy theory about why we see what we see and why everything happens. So let's go to the hot incident. I mean, this is tough to watch, but here's an interesting fact I want to say. So that's just a video of this is her right before she dies. Black male, dreads, red hoodie. This is her in her room later on. And so be it. She's got a Black Lives Matter sticker sign in her room. Why is that important? Well, the Black Lives Matter movement came with all this stuff and it was shoved down our throat. Black Lives Matter. Of course, Black Lives Matter. You couldn't even say all lives matter at this point in America back in the George Floyd era. You were a racist if you said all lives matter. Of course, Black Lives Matter. But when you separate Black lives from everybody else's lives, you're segregation. You're segregating a group of people. For what? We're all together. But for this young lady, so she's a Ukrainian and she has the Black Lives Matter. She bought into that, like that one race is more important than everybody else. And I guess the irony there would be that the race that she said mattered and took the time to segregate and say mattered ends up being the person or race that ends her life in a tragic, like, I'm glad. I thought that was going to be the video. I'm glad it's actually not because it's rough. So we go into just slow down some pictures here. So, if I am a civilian, I'm a citizen, and I get on the public transit and I see a black male in a hoodie, and it's late, whatever, does this image allow me to go, I don't want to sit in front of that person? No different than this was a white dude with a skinned head and tattoos all over his face, and I see him at 3 a.m. Do I want to sit in front of him? If I'm walking on the street and I see this dude coming, similar to this guy, and I go to the other side of the street, am I wrong? Am I a bad person because I saw this video? Because when cops, when George Floyd happens, or when Trayvon Martin, George Floyd, Eric Garner, Michael Brown, when that happens, all cops are bad. We have an entire group of people and a media saying we're bad. Cops are bad. Stay away from them. They're going to kill you. They're going to hurt you. No problem saying that. You can say that all day. You can take a whole million cops and say they're all crooked, bad, racist. They're going to kill you. Okay. Based on what? Based on the uniform they wear, how they look. They make fun of short flat tops, short hair, bald-headed crackers, the stuff I've been called. So if I see a black dude that looks like that and I'm walking down the street, am I okay to go, okay, this guy might stab me. I'm going to bounce to the other side of the street. Or if I get on a bus and I look at this dude and I'm like, there ain't no fucking way I'm sitting in front of this dude. Am I wrong? Am I wrong for feeling that way when I see this? Would you call me a racist if I get up and move because I see that? Or if I choose not to sit there? I mean, look at the terror. Look at the terror. Imagine you're stabbed. She's dead. She's already dead as she's looking up at this dude. You got all these people watching. Do you expect them to get up and help? I in this day and age, some people ranting about that. I mean, at this point, she's dead anyway. You get up and tackle them. I don't know. I don't know what you do. I know a reason why you might be inclined not to, because we had an incident very similar, and Daniel Penny, he gets up and helps for a dude on the subway, and he's a white male, and where does he end up for protecting everybody? Paraded all over the news, all over the networks, all over everything. As a criminal, he gets tried and not guilty, but he gets put through the whole ringer for stopping a threat. So let's say there's a dude on this, on this bus. He gets up, sees that dude, grab that knife, puts him to sleep, and kills him. Is that not in the back of his head? Like, maybe I don't want to get involved in this. So I think that's a lot of the questions we have to answer as a society is when is it okay now to say I am uncomfortable when I see certain people who fit that description around me or near me? Because again, as cops, you can feel uncomfortable. You can say it out loud. You can go to the news. You can have politicians, the presidents, the vice presidents, Hillary Clintons. You can have all these people say cops are bad or cops are simply for putting on a uniform. You can have a whole community say you guys are all pieces of shit. But when can we as people go, man, I don't know. I don't know if I want to stand next to this guy or I don't want to be around this guy. And it's not a problem. Like is there a time? I don't know. I don't even know if what I'm saying is okay. Like to me, it seems pretty logical what I'm saying, but and let's put this into perspective. This is the city of Chicago. Obviously, these neighborhoods are primarily black where this is occurring. Not all black, but primarily. This is 1 year to date in the city of Chicago. 308 total homicides, 1,411 people shot, 1,152 wounded, 259 people just killed by guns. You got a black mayor, black chief of police, commissioner, whatever they call them. They're on TV every day. Oh, we hear you. We're going to save you. We're going to stop you. When is that the real problem? When does the media jump in and go, hey, man, we're losing, 400, 500 people a year in one city in America. Maybe it's not the cops that's the problem. The 1 or 2 incidents a year where there's bad cop encounters. The Jacksonville one, I don't think it mattered if that guy was black or white. The guy that wouldn't get out of the car, anybody would have got treated that way. I believe anybody would have got punched. That wasn't racial. Of course, it became racial. It was not. But that one incident blasts through the news because it's catchy and everybody can see it. But you have Chicago. Let's look at it one more time. Nobody cares. Nobody's outraged. No churches, no community leaders, no deacons. Nobody's going, they should be begging President Trump to bring in people to save this place. But no, they don't want them. They don't want the help. They're handling it. They look like they're doing a really good job handling it. So, I mean, I think I had one more. Oh, and then like this. This is a funny one, but this to me is like this lady who stole the ball. I wonder if this was a black female that ran up and did this. This is just me wondering, not being racist. If a black female ran up in the same fashion and screamed and yelled and got the ball, would America give her a pass? Would they be scared to say, hey, there's 1,000 memes about this lady who's an asshole, took the ball from the little kid and made all this news. Would America be just as quick to make the memes and judge? Well, the meme world would, but would America, the media, the people that are jumping all over the story, would they be inclined to do so if that was a black female? To make fun of her, to ostracize her, to put her all over the internet? And I don't know. I don't know if they would. I don't know if they could. I don't know if they would get canceled. That's the message I'm trying to bring with this episode. I've watched the Hodge twins blow this stabbing out and say what they can say. They're black. They can get away with saying a lot more. But some of the points they raised were, if you get on a bus, do you sit near this guy? Or if you're walking down the street, do you walk to the other side of the street when you see a group of black males coming? I wouldn't do it because they're black, just because they're black. I wouldn't do it because I would not sit next to a black guy because he's black. But when I see these videos and the video has a person that looks a certain way, just like a cop looks a certain way in a uniform, is it wrong for me to be worried? Is it wrong for me to go, I'm not going to sit there? And then you can get in trouble or you can get accused of being racist for not wanting to sit a certain place or not wanting to walk by a certain group of people. It's now your fault to take your own safety into consideration. And that's anti-American. That's anti everything we fought for. If I can do all the other stuff I can do freely, I can walk wherever the fuck I want. I can stand wherever I stand. I can sit wherever I want. And if I feel uncomfortable, not because you're black, but because I've seen people dressed a certain way, stab somebody in the neck or jump a guy and beat him to a pulp on Instagram 100 times, seen hundreds of videos where it seems to be younger black males jumping either other black males or white males or even white females I've seen getting beat up. I haven't yet, and I would love somebody to send them to me. I'll post it and I haven't yet seen 20, 30 white males beat up a black female. I haven't seen a white male stab a black female in the neck. Not that it hasn't happened. And if it happens, it's absolutely disgusting, but I just haven't seen it yet. So when I present this, it's what we continue. When I continue to see a certain thing happen over and over, just like a science project or a hypothesis or any of those other fancy words, my brain forms a callus that says, this is what I've seen over and over and over again. And I start to believe, I start to believe what I see and go, I'm going to act accordingly based on what I see. Not, I see a black guy, he's bad. Absolutely not the case. Or I see a black guy driving, I'm going to pull him over. Not the case. I see similarly dressed and people acting in a similar way to what I've seen on the internet in a place that I've seen them, then to me is concerning, where I go, this doesn't feel right. I'm not racist, and if that's racist, then so be it, because that's bullshit. I'm just telling you, we scroll, we all see it, we all look at it on social media over and over and over again. We see the same videos of the same thing happening. The media ignores 99% of what they see, and they jump on the 1% that seems to create divide or create a problem or create clicks. And that is going to be a downfall of society if we can't look at common sense as a human race and say, hey man, fuck that. This isn't black or white. This is fucking survival. Like, I'm not doing that, or I'm not dealing with that because I've seen this before. And you can be canceled. Or maybe I'm canceled. I don't know. Maybe I'm canceled after this episode, but I don't care. It's not racist. It's what we see. It's a pattern and a problem. And I think we need to have our politicians address it. We need to be able to address it. And we want, at the end of the day, I just want to help people. That's why I became a cop. I just want everybody to get along, dude. I don't really like conflict. There's times I get pissy and upset, more probably about football or my team losing. But for the most part, we don't want civil unrest. We don't want cities burning. We don't want to watch that news and cities got 12, 15, 20 shootings a weekend. I don't wish that on anybody in Chicago or Memphis or Baltimore. I don't want anybody to die. I want everybody to have a good life, live life, but we can't ignore the facts of what is being seen every day. And it's always seems to be a certain pattern. And then we can't talk about the pattern. So that's my 2 cents. This is Locked Up with Copville. I appreciate all the support. Catch me on my website, www.copvilleog.com, YouTube at CopvilleOG, Instagram at CopvilleOG. I appreciate your support, and I hope you guys enjoy the podcast. We're going to keep pushing, and appreciate it.
I'm the only white face in this area. You don't belong here. Stop, I'll shoot you in the back.